We've built the floor switch. We've built the pneumatic cylinder. Well, sort of last time. So today we're going to try and take our new year, new you butt kicking machine to the next level by transferring it from, scribbly design on a piece of paper into the real world. And it looks like I have a bit of a shop helper today. I don't know. She's been with me all day, just kind of knocking things off of my work table. And we all know what that's like. We all got shop helpers. So if you have a shop helper, post their name in the comments. I'd like to know I'm not the only one. And I'm beginning to figure out why some of my 10mm sockets go missing. So thanks for joining, everybody. I see all, of course, the regular gang showing up. There's David Beck, Gabriel, Rusty, Dave Wells, and a couple new people, Nuclear Banana, Sigifredo, John Epperson. So, he says that he loves my, Miss Munster t-shirt. I used to love that movie, or not the movie, but the series as a kid. And so I would flip between that and the Addams Family. So those were kind of like my two favorite ones. But let's not forget, the Kit Car and Dukes of Hazzard and all those automotive ones too. So thanks everybody for joining. I see like we got some of our people coming in, and of course we'll have our fashionably late Rusty Perry saying is what's up? Well, what's up? And Gel333, we have Midnight, Nightwolf, hi to Casey as well. So I'm seeing all of your comments come in because today I am going to seriously need your help on this, because let me show you. For those of you commented actually that you had not seen what we were working on. So let me just kind of move this here and give you guys a closer look at what we were working on. So I got a couple comments that, hey, what are you building? I missed the last stream. So you know what? Let's catch everybody up. So we started this butt kicking machine, and I think I'm going to change the design up on the fly today. We'll see how that goes. So we did the floor switch, which means when you step on it, well, that's going to activate our sprinkler valve here. That's going to release air from our air chamber, and the air will travel, engaging our pneumatic PVC cylinder we created, which is then going to kick the foot with the shoe. And we talked about the pointy shoe. I have no idea why I drew a pointy shoe. Some of you posted pictures of far more comfortable shoes for me to use. And the shoe is going to flip up and hit me in the butt-icular area up here. So we're gonna see how far we get in this design today. And well, it looks like the stream has started, and guess who wants out? Oh yeah, she's totally done with this project. So goes to show how much confidence she's gotten me, but you know what? I don't need her, I got you guys. So I am going to put you guys in a brief intermission. I'm gonna open the door for her to leave, since she didn't believe in this project. Anyways, be right back. 10 seconds. It turns out all of a sudden the couch was way more interesting than what I'm about to do here. So, vote of confidence. Thank you. Vote of confidence. All right. So I'm going to put this, well, you know what? I'm going to keep it for reference. And yes, this is a together build. So definitely chime in, and you guys are going to affect the build. So I'm going to show you kind of a prototype I have over here off camera, just to kind of see where my head is going with this. And I think that we can start building from the base on up using some of the components that we've already built. So follow me along. All right, so you can see on my workbench here, I have kind of what I think is going to be the base right here, and I think it'll be a square base. Here then we have kind of like, I almost think of it like as a leg, so we got the thigh area right here, and then we got the knee and the shin area, so all we're missing is a foot. But just looking at this, I'm thinking that this probably is a little bit too long. And what I did was attach this at about 48 inches. And I'm just going to move right here that microphone a little bit, so hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better, but I am kind of far from it. So I will enunciate my words. And so what I'm thinking is the height here is about 48 inches. And then we have our thigh, which is an arbitrary number of inches. We're going to figure this out, once we put in our pneumatic cylinder. And then after that, well, I think we can easily attach some kind of swinging device, maybe a bolt going through. And so to test, the preliminary design, so I'll be standing here. I'm going to stomp my foot on the foot switch when I have not met my New Year's resolution or I mess up. And so how long? Okay, this is awkward, guys. I'll have to admit this is the most awkward project I've done in a long time. Like if somebody's tuning in right now, they're like, what's she doing? Like, why is there a piece of wood on her butt? So what I'm thinking is that right about here where the black paint meets the gold paint, I cut this off, and that seems a Rachel-sized butt-kicking type of area. So the only thing that we have to figure out is where does this knee go along this thigh? How short do we want it? Obviously shorter is better, so we make it compact, but we might need to move it here or even further depending on the size of our pneumatic cylinder. So for now, I'm going to put our knee here, and let's get started back over here. Let me grab the mic so we all can hear me better. So if it was a little muffled over there, I'm sorry. And it looks like McGee has joined us, and he says, yo, I have arrived. And yes, people are loving the Lily Munster shirts. Sometimes I have to look down because I can't remember what I ate yesterday. I'm not going to even remember the t-shirt that I'm wearing today. So Frank Starr is saying, Rachel, great stuff. So, okay, it doesn't seem like I lost too many people with the wood in the butt area, So, okay, you guys can stomach that, then you're the right audience for this type of project. I'm like a 12-year-old. Any butt jokes, I laugh and giggle. So to get started with our base, like I was saying, I'm just going to grab a piece of wood over here. I went ahead and pre-cut these guys to 48 inches. And is there some kind of magical reason I picked 48 inches? Yes, there's the Rachel magical reason, and that is that I'm trying to be cheap, because if you think about it, a piece of 1 by 6 by 8 feet, well, you can get two 48-inch pieces out of that. So that means I only have to buy 2 rather than making a much taller machine like I was planning to. Now you gotta buy more pieces of wood. So yeah, it saves us some money. So the idea is, I think I'm going to house our air tank like we talked about, and we tried to, I'm gonna have to clear off some space here. All right, so Frank Starr is loving the project. He's giggling along with me, which is good. So in typical fashion, I'm gonna start putting these things all around my feet so I can step on them, and you guys can hear all the crunching. So if I move all these here, it's like hide them. All right, so that allows me to put my 48-inch piece right about here. And we'll need safety glasses for later. I keep them right here so that way I totally forget to use them. And put them on. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. Our 48-inch piece. And the idea is I'm gonna grab a couple more pieces, is that I'll build my base like this, and then I'll put another piece here. And one of the things I'm thinking of doing is leaving the back open, and instead our piece for the back, where I need to access and fill the tank with air, it can be on a hinge and it can open like that. So we can open it up like a little door, fix things that we perhaps need to fix. So the first thing we're gonna do is, these are all pre-cut to 48 inches, is, start building our base just like that. So one of the things I'm debating is glue and brad nails, or should we do some like pocket hole screws going down? So while I set up, I'm gonna let you guys mull that over and tell me what opinion you have on that. So let me just continue moving things. You guys mull over. Let me know. All right. Give you guys a better view. So let's see if I can, let's back this on up, back it on up for you guys to be able to see. And here I have a couple spacers where we'll go ahead and screw our posts into. That way it gives it a little bit more structure. So Mark Hallwell saying, when great car builders get bored. I love this. Yes. You know, when I'm not building cars, we build various derriere machines. Yes. Yes. Derriere machines. So, all right. Did I get a consensus? Glue and screw is what David Beck is saying. Screws or nails are faster and stronger. So people seem to be going with the pocket hole screw idea. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to lay this down and grab my pocket hole materials. So I also think it's a lot easier to clamp it down for you guys to see. I think if I were trying to free hold this and trying to, you know, use a nail gun from underneath, it's just going to be a bit, you know, a bit creative. I'd have to get creative with it. So I'm going to do this first piece over like this. And so let's put in, I would say just 3 pocket hole screws, and then I'll also add brad nails to it too. So I have my little jig there, or my Craig, and I'm not even really gonna measure. I'm just gonna go for, like, you know, maybe put one kind of over here. And let me clamp that down. Just moving things out of the way. I think next project is a much bigger work table, right? Like a workbench that kind of like, maybe it fans out, and then I got like flaps that open up and things. That would be pretty good. So I might, for you guys to be able to see this, I might kind of freeform it and clamp it down like this. It'll be a little wobbly, but I think it'll work. Unless I can clamp it down at this edge of the table, and that'll work too. It works for me. There we go, and I'll move myself so you guys can see what the heck is going on there. And we might have to steal a couple clamps from our little machine there. So I think something like that is probably good. There goes my clamp. All right, I'm gonna have to steal some from the butt machine. All right, I'm taking apart the butt machine. Butt kicking machine. Should probably use complete sentences. All right, this is a much bigger clamp, so it'll probably be much better. And I want to move this to the edge. There we go. So at least you guys will see the main part. And I'm just gonna squeak, 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 squeak. So that's pretty good, and we're going to be drilling into one of these holes. So let me move this useless clamp out of the way since it failed us, and let me grab the rest of my things, and we are going to do our hole first. All right. Hopefully I have this clamp down tight enough, and here we go. I think I'll do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This one. All right. Oh, well, clearly that wasn't clamped down tight enough. All right, so we have our little hole there. Clean it off, and I'm going to do right there. I'm going to do 2 more on here, and we can get this one in. Already. And what is falling? It's all my stuff. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. And clamp it down right about here. This is kind of halfway point. We're not measuring anything today. We're just kind of like going for it. Now, about. Actually, I kind of like where the clamp was. We'll just use that. There. So you see both my heads in both shots. That's just awful. All right. So Caesarland saying, sorry I'm late. Well, he missed the butt kicking festivities. That's okay. I'm sure there'll be more. Trust me. All right. We're going to stick with Mo here and do this again. All right. That went a little smoother. And then we got one more hole. Look at these little screws that I found hiding over here. I'll put you guys over here. I like to harvest every little screw that I find, you know? So I'm gonna switch over here because I don't think you guys will be able to see much of this. So something like this, and then I'll switch views so you guys can kind of take a look at what's going on. All right. There we go. And same deal. And we're sticking with Mo. Two Rachels is always better than one. Unless she messes up, then we gotta, like, you know, eliminate a Rachel for sure, you know. Too much trouble. So now you can see that we have, you know, 1, 2, 3. Can I back that up anymore? That's as much as it backs up. So you can see our pocket holes here. Ooh, I got a little shadow going over there. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're just going to repeat this on the other board. And they'll probably be on completely different locations, but for this, it doesn't matter. All right, I got this other board here. And we're going to basically do the same thing. And get our little guy. I'm going to put him kind of like over here. Move myself in the process. And this is the one going on the end. All right. That's good, nice and tight. And here you go. Watch your ears, people. And move this and move myself. My clamp needs a little oil, right? Squeaky squeak. Right. Then one more, and this is always the tough one. Got you guys to see it. I'm jumping all around on you guys, right? It's like, where is she? All right, one more. How long did I extend this thing? Okay, there we go. Getting caught on. All right. So now we got 2 boards that are totally done, and I think we can start our glues and screw party, right? Well, that sounds like a fun party. So let me move as many things as I can out of the way for this, although we probably will need some clamps just to kind of help us out a little. And move that out of the way. And did you guys see that? Did you guys totally catch that? Did I not just try and hang this on the wall, right? And so, where am I gonna hang it? Oh my gosh. I think it's like the wood chips in here or something. And Caesar is saying, you are a trip. Ernesto is saying, what did I miss? So Ernesto, we are building the base to our new year, new year, but whatever, the butt kicking machine. That's what we're doing. And so people seem to have voted that they want the glue and then putting in of the screws, pocket hole screws. That's it. So let me look for some pocket hole screws right here, and we're gonna switch drill bits and we'll get to gluing. Put this over here. I don't know, for a small surface, I think we are, we're making do here, people. We're making do. And our pocket hole screws. Ooh, this might be a new one. Let's see if I can. It's like the frustration-free packaging, where you can't even open it. So they give you like a little bit of a help. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab 3 of them so we're ready. And I'm gonna try and do this the best way I can so you guys can kind of see what's going on. So let me move this over here. And I'm moving things that you can't really see, but just imagine. All right, I'm gonna move this back and see what I can do here. So that's gonna go in like that. So let me prep the glue. Wow, that is quite gross, this glue. Crunch. The crunch. There we go. We had some crunch. And I'm gonna try and see if I can pop this open because it's kind of glued. There we go. Kind of glued itself shut. That guide to drill is great. You need to make a removable extension for the top of your workbench. That is true. Either some kind of flip up thing or some kind of slidey out type of thing. And yes, we're using really, really technical language. Slidey out things and foldy out things. Yeah. So let's get our glue going. And I am a notorious over gluer. Yes. Everything is over glued, but I'm not too concerned. And one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is for this base, I can leave it plain like this, or we could do like a nice stain. But then I had this other idea where maybe we can do chalkboard paint. Because think about it, every time you have to take a hit, you can kind of mark it to see how well you're doing. Are you improving? You can also write down all of your resolution and goals right on the butt kicking machine. So every time you look at it, you're like, oh, I better keep my goals, right? So, well, that was going to be pretty crooked. There. And let's see how straight we can get this. So if we decide to paint this, I'm not too worried about overglue. We can always fix that. And I'm going to slide this towards me so it's on the very edge of the table, and I can clamp it down for us. Because it's kind of tough to drill in while holding this down. So the question is this tall enough to hold both pieces? It might not be. I might have to go with one of the big boys. There we go. Oh, guys, we're lucky. We are lucky. So the question now becomes, is it straight? Well, I'm not so great at that question. So let's do the best we can. And I have a little square, speed square that I always use. And this thing needs to lean back a little bit. So let me try and get the first one in. Where is it? Oh, the square was right on top of it. So let me prep. There goes the glue, people. I'll fetch it in a bit. It's taking a nap on the floor. So Brian is saying chalkboard paint is a good idea. Okay, so we got to vote for chalkboard paint. Let's see how many more votes we get. And let me clean out some of the wood chips so I can actually put this little screw in. There we go. So I'm lining up in the back, making sure we're all flush back here. And this should be pretty good. I'd like to hold this guy just to give me an idea. and you can see a giant kind of gap going. We're going to try and fix that. Common wood is always like that. They're always a little crooked. If you have a planer, even better. We don't, so that's why our stuff comes out a little crooked, but you know, still workable. All right, here we go. All right, let's move on to the next. Yeah, we'll have to deal with that. And this one is not as flush, like it bows, you know, so it starts here, then it bows back, and then it, you know, comes back to meet the front. So we're gonna have to fix this kind of bowing. It's got like a Santa belly coming my way, so we're gonna try and trim this up a little bit. That's pretty good. Little Santa belly trimmed, and let me grab the other one and put him here. And I'll probably have to do the same. Oh no, this one came out a lot cleaner. And my little speed square to give me an idea. That's already really square. Whoop. Nice, people. We're off to a good start. And my cat Leota, see? She's missing the action. We're doing pretty well. And I did separate a screw, didn't I? Oh yeah, it's already in the hole. All right, I take that back. This is already going that well when you put, you know, and you don't even know where it is. And this is going to be great. All right. And we got one more. So this is kind of the tough one where maybe I can kind of turn it towards you guys so you can see it. There it is. Now don't go anywhere. So this one's the tougher one because it really just wants to, you know, stick up. And I lie, I'm actually gonna have to bring this back this way. Let's see if I can just use my fingers to kind of get this in place. And I'm gone for now, but I'll be back. All right, so I'm actually really glad you guys decided on this because this board is like pretty crooked and I think brad nails and glue would have been kind of difficult. So score for you guys. You guys won, Rachel 0, right? And then Jared saying, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could use a chainsaw? Oh, even better, I'm liking that. All right, let me just see kind of where we are. Looking pretty good, so I know this is pretty good here. All right, so we have our, you know, somewhat of a box made. And what we're going to do is, where's my little pieces that I tried to hang on the wall? So on each end, we're going to try and cap it. See, so this guy will sit like that. Actually, he'll sit like that. And so they'll have inside pieces that we can then screw the other sides to. That way they don't kind of flex. You know, I'll have one here and one here. There'll be one kind of in the middle once we decide where the air tank goes. So, David Beck says, I was close. Prairie also close. LOL. Awesome. So far, I think this is going pretty good, guys. You know, couple moments like when I try and hang stuff on the wall where hooks don't or nothing there exists. So I'm going to push this up like that, and we're going to repeat on the other side. And so perhaps to repeat on the other side, I will change my mind and go back to this position. And we're going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to, there we go, get some of the wood off inside the holes. And all right, so the holes are now facing me, which I know doesn't do you guys much good. And I'm just going to try and screw them in this way. Now these are going to be much tougher to access because of the, you know, the angle, but hopefully this is long enough. I think it will be. And let's see if I can give you guys a better view this way. And I'm just moving things out of the way. Let's see. Oh, I know what I can do. Might be able to put this here. Yes. We can use the other edge of the table where I can try and stretch myself over. That's always hilarious. So let's do that. Let's up the game. Make it far more difficult. All right. A couple other people are loving my Lily Munster shirt. And then Edward is saying, making me want to make stuff again. Well, that's always the best. You know, sometimes you see a project that inspires you. I do this all the time. Oh, guys, I forgot. The glue is on the other side of the table. So I'm going to try and grab that real quick. I'll be right back. 5-second intermission. All right, we are back. And then Jay, you're gonna have to turn it around maybe. Yes, I'm trying to see, like once I put this over here, and let me just kind of get rid of myself for a sec. If I can do this, yes, I'm gonna have to turn it around. So here we go. Back to position one. Back to position one. And unfortunately, you guys will just have to like not see this part, and you're just gonna totally trust that I'm doing an amazing job. Like, wow, look at how straight she's putting that in. You know, look at those screws going in so straight. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, looks great. And it fell, so that way the tip went down and closed it. So at least, you know, that's good. Keeps my glue nice and fresh. And I'm going to do the same thing. A little layer of glue, not going too nuts. And then on top of the screws, I will throw in some brad nails kind of once we start finalizing things. But this is to kind of get it together so we can move on putting the air tank in here and finalizing the build of our... I almost thought I did that on the wrong side. I get to yapping with you guys. So something like this, I actually may have to just hold it. There. And let me grab 3 more screws out of my... There we go. Because I don't really see how I can clamp this down. Unless I just lift it and clamp. We'll try that. Let's try that. There we go. And lift. Okay. I can't even tell if that's straight or not. Oh, we are way not flush. Way not flush. Come back up. There we go. I'll sand it down if it doesn't look good. There we go. I think I can work with this. It's a little rock and roll, but you know, we'll deal. All right, watch hair. Yes, Jel has a good point. I'm going to put this back here. There we go. It's a shirt hair catcher. All right. Now, you guys can just imagine how well this is going. You know, it's going to go totally well. Oh, you know, I can use the little spacer to kind of help hold things. And it also will tell me if this thing is straight. You loosen this up a little bit. There we go. I knew I made these little things for something. All right. Actually, you'll just get in the way. Oh no. I shouldn't have unclamped. All right, we're going to reclamp then. There we go. And reclamped. And I think we're as flush as we're going to get. at this point. All right. And I'm going to try and use my belly to try and keep this steady. There we go. 1 down, 3 to go. Actually, this piece is way more straight than the other piece. Might actually be able to do it without the clamp. Famous last words, right? I could do it without the clamp. I got this. Watch this thing fly right at you guys. Whoop, slippery, slippery bit. Right. Final one, and we are done the base for now, enough to get us to where we need to be. And help if I drill on top of the speed square there. All right. All right, so we have our little chamber, and our air tank is going to go in here, and I'm not quite sure where we're going to have to drill a hole on this end for our pneumatic cylinder piston thingy to come out of. So I'm going to put this aside for now, or actually I lie, I'm not going to put it aside. I'm going to put all this other stuff aside so we can start putting the air tank in here. This within view of you guys. It's like brief cleanup. We need some like cleanup tunes, you know? There, make cleaning up more fun. Get the glue put away. All right. And we have a new super chat, Nuclear Banana. Thank you for the $10. Nuclear Banana is just like, oh, come on now. Seeing me like sweating here. Look at how shiny I am. It's feeling bad for me. So thank you. Great show. You go, girl. Yes, we're going to try and keep this up. So let me switch views for you guys. And you can see my little channel here that I made. I can't promise that these aren't, 100% straight, but we're going to go with Rachel Straight. And Rachel Straight says, this rocks. So before brad nailing, we're going to continue prototyping. And let me grab the air chamber that we made last time. And some of you guys are going to recognize this. And, oh, we were already totally magnified. So the air portion is we're going to pump air with a bicycle pump right here. Now in a true pneumatic piston style, we do use an air compressor, and you don't even need the air tank. You could totally eliminate it. So it's like, why are you adding an air tank and just now you need a place to conceal it. It's a whole to-do. But I figure that I don't want to tie up my air compressor all the time. And then what if I want to move this into a different room? And then now I got to move the air compressor too. So I figured, what if there's a way to, just have it be self-contained? And so I came up with this idea, borrowing it from potato gun technology. And so, yeah, you pump the air into here. This chamber holds it until we step on our switch, and then the air expels itself and we do our pneumatic cylinder. So this is going to live somewhere in here, and we don't really know where. So I think I'll probably put it up as high as possible, and then have our like pneumatic piston come in through there, come in out through here, which means I'll probably have to drill some kind of hole, which I probably should have done that before putting this together, but we'll get to that. We'll fix it. So I think I'm going to have to drill some hole here. So I think what I'm going to do is still leave this section right here unglued. That's one of the troubles that we had last time. We wanted to test our pneumatic cylinder creation, and it didn't go anywhere. It was like, it was a big fail, you know, because the air was leaking everywhere. We didn't cement anything down because I wanted to build this first to see how exactly we were going to fix it. So I think that we'll start cementing it now so we can start getting some final fixtures, except for this part. This part I'm going to leave uncemented for now, because what if I got way too much of a canister and it's too difficult to control the air pressure going out and my butt's getting way too tenderized. We just want like a nice softening, not like a meat tenderizer up on your butt. So what I might end up doing is cut it down to give me a small air chamber, and then I can just replace the cap. But we can cement everything from here on out. So I figure let's start doing that. All right. And David Beck is saying, this old garage. I don't know if you're making a reference to This Old House, because I do love that show. Did you get it sealed, Robin is saying. So no, we're about to do that right now, because you all remember how bad that was. And then McGee says, this old house, better than Norm from Cheers. Well, we got to get like a bar setup back here. Now, that's going to be the next project. So okay, not glued yet. Yes, so it's not glued yet. You can use a portable automotive compressor. Ernesto, now you mention this? We've already done 2 episodes. Come on, you gotta show up earlier. That's actually quite brilliant. But now I've already built all this, so I'm just gonna continue this, and that'll be version 2.0. Version 2.0. All right, so let me see how far I got in this design, and let's see here. So I forget how I had these couplings. I know that this somehow has to go in here, I think, and then this. Am I missing a piece? I might be missing a piece. Oh, there we go. And then this goes in here, I believe, and then we go into our sprinkler valve right here. And our sprinkler valve has arrows. So see that arrow right there? It's pointing towards the bottom of the screen. So that's how the direction of air is gonna go. So we wanna make sure that the air goes out of the chamber and into the sprinkler valve. So this is the orientation that we're gonna want it. So one of the things I'm gonna do real quick is just trim down this 1-inch piece of pipe, but we can start already gluing this stuff together right here. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. Nice and scratchy. So we have room to work. And actually, instead of moving it out of the way, I'm going to remove it all together from our set and let it kind of glue up against the wall back there. So we can work unobstructed, right? We can actually spread out a little bit. So what will hold it in? Cement glue? Yes. So we're going to use cement glue. And I'm going to use these little guys here. And I'm gonna turn around so you can see the labels. And so it's just a primer and the actual cement. Now, when you're dealing with compressed air, there's a different kind of cement that you should use. Now, I'll be honest, I've been using this stuff for many, many potato guns. I've never had a problem. And because I have it left over, we're keeping our theme of cheapness and not buying extra just to make this project, just like my 48 inches over there of wood. So the first thing that we're gonna do is glue this guy on. No, wrong end. This guy on. That's the piston. Oh dear God, this is going pretty bad. Cool, so we have a new subscriber, FlowTester21. Thanks for joining. So you've joined at the right time. You missed some of the earlier shenanigans where, you know, he'd probably be like, unsubscribe to this. What is this lady doing? All right, so let's start by doing this. And I'm just, you know, you got to test it first. All right, I always like to test the connections first. Okay, this is how I want to do it. And I keep it connected because it's really easy once you get into it to get all confused and then, you know, fuse the wrong parts together. So I'm going to put our fabulous design over there. So I'm going to start just by kind of cleaning the inside with no paper towels. You know, hands are good. Hands are good. All right, start with the primer. And the primer is always like really, oh, where am I putting it? Right here. Really watery. And because this is going over top, I'm going to put the primer on here first. And you don't need to go crazy. I'm not really caring about my workbench because this top is just screwed down and I can always, once it gets beat up, do another top. 3/4, 3/8 inch plywood. And here's the actual cement. And same thing, we're just gonna put the cement right on top of the primer. And right here. It's got more of a gel type of consistency. And then make sure, you got the ends right. So you wanna push it in as far as it goes and give it at least a 1/4 turn. That's how you know it's nice and tight. And for good measure, I brought out the negotiator, right? The negotiator. And this kind of just helps us making sure, that everybody's happy. Everybody's, had a chance to voice their concerns, but now it's done. It's negotiated. So, oh, I do have paper towels, guys. See, I have all kinds of stuff hiding in the nooks and crannies. So I'm just going to go ahead and get it all clean. And for the most part, this is not too much of a messy job. And now, what did I say? Now this goes in here. Right. All right. Just checking, guys. Just checking. And same deal. I'm going to start with the inside of this first. Then the outside of this. There we go. It's tricky. It's like inside, outside. And then we're going to move to the cement. Same deal. And then cement the other way. Oh, I don't want to, you know what? I'll put you guys like that. I just realized I left my gloves on the other side. So I am just kind of doing this as delicately as possible. There we go. Push it in. And now see how that went in all the way, whereas before we couldn't push it in all the way? So this kind of helps. And then it's going to clean that off. And then we put in our 1-inch pipe, So my rule is I always like to try and have as little distance as possible from the air getting in the tank for its travel. So I wanted to get to the cylinder as fast as possible. So I always try and shorten these things as much as I can. So let me see if I can give it just another little, so if it'll bottom out about here and this here. So if I can give it another little trim, another little haircut, that's really gonna help us out. So let me get out my amazing cutting system right here. You all will see this. All right. Oh, there we go. Now for you new people, you're like, why is that not bolted down somewhere? Well, as you have seen from this stream, it's kind of tough to know where to put it where you guys will be able to see. So I've always kind of been leaving things unbolted. And it's been working out so far. I got a little support piece of wood right here. Sometimes we get rocking and a rolling. But for the most part, it's worked out. So let me chop this a little bit and give you guys a better view, right? That's always better. There we go. It's always tough getting it started. Are we done yet? Whoa. Got PVC flying everywhere, people. Everyone's like bailing from this project. Even the PVC pipe, the cat, they're like, oh, I'm out of here. Let's get out. All right, let's see if that works out any better. And I'm just kind of cleaning. I use this table as sandpaper all the time. It's like just rough enough, to give us that. All right, so I think that'll be a little bit better. That gives us, I could probably take a little more off, but I'm kind of scared to. So I'm just going to move this guy over here because no doubt we'll need him again. Scrapey scrape. And our air chamber right here. Okay. So then he'll go in here. So let's do primer and our cement. Put a primer. Put that down like that. And cement. And Ernesto is saying the negotiator looks very convincing. Oh yeah, trust me. That thing's helped me out a whole bunch of times when your parts or pieces, especially in automotive, aren't, you know, or I guess my negotiating skills alone aren't enough, so I bring in the professional. Sometimes you got to bring in the professional. All right, that's feels like it's seated pretty well, but you never know. You never know if he's deciding to, you know, give me a little lip. There we go. So then the final step, I'm going to take this off of our sprinkler valve here. Move him aside, is to put this guy in. So same deal. Little primer. And now this is supposed to cure overnight for 24 hours. We'll see if we decide to do that. You know us, we just kind of like move along and hope for the best. That's basically the way these projects go. And you know what? Sometimes I am quite surprised. It ends up working out anyways. So that's one of the things I learned, that in the beginning it would stop me from doing projects because you see people doing these absolute things of perfection and you're like, well, I don't have those skills. So you just kind of, I just started building projects, you know, with the skills I had, simple stuff, and then moving on from there. And sometimes you just gotta, you know, limp along. But even limping along, you can build some pretty cool things. So I tell you guys, limp along if you feel you have to in the beginning. Guys, look at that. That's pretty amazing. There is no 1-inch pipe. What? That's perfect. See, and we didn't even measure. See, measuring is so overrated. It really is. I just proved it right here. But watch it. It's going to get me now. It's going to get me with this next cut. It's going to be too short, and then I'll have to start all over again. All right, so we have our tube pretty well finalized here. Our put the air in. The air gets stored in this chamber, and then this is where it connects to our sprinkler. Oh, geez. Sprinkler valve over here. And the valve will not let the air out into the rest of the system until the floor switch is pressed. And the floor switch gets connected to these little wires over here. And then once these are activated, then the air escapes. And I found that sprinkler systems like this, or sprinkler valves, are the best way to get air out really quickly for potato guns and things. And there's a way to modify them to be able to use them for potato guns and kind of give you a trigger as well. So air chamber is done. We're going to leave this kind of undone so I can take the cap off in case I decide to trim this down. So I'm going to put this aside for now, and then we're going to work on the piston or the cylinder here. And I'm just going to close these a little bit so that way they don't start to dry out. So Gel 333 Gel says, perfect. What pressure is the air going to go to? Generally for potato guns and things, well, to answer your question, I don't know. But usually for potato guns, I tend not to go above 25 PSI. Because, actually, why am I putting that away? We're probably going to need it. I don't go above 25 PSI because with 25 PSI, I mean, that sends the object pretty far. It also kind of keeps you pretty safe with things not grenading on you. Like, these can hold way more pressure than that, so like go for it if you want. But usually my potato guns last for a pretty good long time because I don't over pressurize them. So project is coming together nicely. Roy Berry, yes, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's just kind of a fun hangout build night. And so one of the things I'm going to do is actually, before putting Teflon tape on here, because we are going to screw, unscrew, I'll do that kind of as the final step. I'm going to put this just kind of so we can measure, right? You know, and there we go. Kind of tough to to get it started. And Ron's beer reviews and tools is here. Cheers all, project looks good, awesome. So something like this, and I'm not going to tighten it too much. I'm gonna actually leave it a little bit loose, you know, so we can figure that portion out later. And then we are going to do this. And the same thing, I'm gonna try and shorten this little length right here. And Gabrielle Franklin and Arujo Mateas, welcome to the Wrench Army. Heck yeah, we are like wrench armying up in here, except there's no wrenches for this build. But, oh, yes there is. Here's a wrench, and this is for the air valve. So we are wrench arming it up with a very tiny wrench. But wrench is better than no wrench, right? So one of the debates I had, and one of you guys did chime in earlier today on social media, is we have a 90-degree elbow here. And normally, you know, I want to keep the air traveling as little distance as possible. So I really want to trim this down. I want to trim this down. But one of you guys had an idea of changing it to a 45-degree angle. And I think that was David Beck that had that idea, because then the air wouldn't like hit and just really hit this wall really hard and have to make a turn. So I do not have a 45-degree angle elbow, but I think out of just curiosity, I'm going to go out and get one and try that. So I think I'm just going to leave this elbow on kind of loose for now, but get it in as much as possible so we can prototype where we have to put the hole where the cylinder comes out, and move along. You know, we're going to try and get as far as we can with this project. And then you guys are supposed to be telling me whether you want me to stain it, paint it, chalkboard paint it, so we can keep track of our kicks. All right, let me bring kind of my rudimentary cutting device here. And I didn't even measure. We talked about that we weren't going to measure, but I'm going to, you know, measure a little bit this time, just a little bit. Actually, this one is going to come out of here. And into here. So how much can we cut? We can cut quite a bit. I'm going to go nuts on it. Let's see what happens. Let's cut it quite a bit off. And I was going to say, let's cut the end that's crooked, and both ends are crooked. So, well, that goes our idea. All right, I think something like this is good enough, kind of conservative, kind of not. You know, it sits right in the middle there. And let's see what this is gonna look like. Let me grab my little hacksaw here. And, oh, I hate getting these things started. Oh, there we go, it started. Go. Oh, wrong way, people. Wrong way. Oh, Robin is saying, cover it with long fur. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. It's almost like a bear leg or something that's kicking you in the behind. I'll have to think about that one. And Art Campbell is saying, get 245s and that equals 90. So yes, building upon the 90 idea, but it might just not be so harsh, you know, that bend by using 245s with a little bit of space in between. And there I go again. It's like I really want to get rid of this thing, but I can't. It's like I still need to use it. It's just instinctual. You want to like keep clearing off your table. But this, the negotiator can kind of momentarily go away for now. So I'm confused. Where was I? Here is the cylinder. We're working our way up there. Pull towards you to get the saw started. All right, we're gonna try that the next time with the hacksaw, because I'm sitting there all like this and it's just not cooperating. All right, so I'm gonna take this guy off of this end. Oh, it was on there pretty tight. And same deal, where's the piece we just cut? Right here. And he's gonna go in here because he's gonna come out of here. All right, people. Whoop. I always want to put it where I am, like, whoa, let's hide it over here where you guys can't see it. Oh, stay over here. All right, and then these two guys. So it's like instinctual. Painted military camo. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then this goes into where? Oh, yeah. Our elbow. Right there. Oh, I wasn't going to cement the elbow on just yet. So we're going to like fake put it on. We're just going to put it on, you know, without any cement. Because we might change this to the 45 or the 245s, because the other idea that David had is if it's at a 45, when the air comes out, it hits the piston butt more squarely in the butt. So we're going to try that. So I'm going to leave this for now, knowing that this length right here is probably going to be a little bit shorter, and so we'll account for that. And I'm just going to, again, no Teflon tape for now. We're going to reserve that for later when we get our final measurements. But we're getting a lot of the final cementing out of the way, which is nice. All right. This video is buffering. All right, we'll see if the FB signal is gone. All right, let me see what's going on. People are saying it's hiccuping. 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm going to check what's going on. All right, so it looks like everything is okay. So hopefully the buffering and things like that will stop. Frozen things, and hopefully we're going to work our way through that. So it looks like Facebook took a nap for a little bit, but it looks like it's awake now. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm giving it the side eye, you know. Facebook is always a little temperamental when it comes to streaming, when you're not streaming directly through Facebook and you're trying to kind of stream everywhere like this. Sometimes it's like, I don't like your signal no matter what you do. All right, so I'm going to take this to our prototype area because we're going to have to see, we're definitely going to have to cut this down. And I don't know by how much we're going to have to cut it down. So let's kind of get an idea. And I'm going to switch you guys over there. And I'm going to enunciate for you guys so you guys can hear me. And let's see. Actually, I'm going to start by taking our newly created base. All right, guys, here's our base. And I'm going to put him now like this. Right? Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Actually, I'm going to put him like this so you guys can see him better. And I'm going to get rid of this old, this old situation I had going on here. This was like real rickety Rachel design. You know, we're going on to less rickety, ever so slightly less rickety Rachel design. So hopefully this thing just doesn't go flying. So I don't think I need a clamp. It's standing on its own, which is a major accomplishment. So I'm just going to use the workbench here as kind of a way to get it steady. And so here we go. It's like, where's my other pieces at? So we have our thigh, and then our knee over here. So let me grab my other little clamp here and see if I can get our little knee together. I'll put them on your guys' side here. Come on, clamp. Work with me. You know, when like the tools start to give you problems where they're like, yeah, no, get me off this project. Please get me off of this project. I'm done with it. All right. So I'm going to put this down for now and grab the other pieces. And here is our tank. So it fits nicely in there. We see that this is going to jut out and it's going to come out here. So the question is, how high do we want this thing? Do we want it here down here. This is kind of like the stuff that we have to figure out now. So let me find a way to clamp. Oh, I have a way. I'm going to clamp this guy up here. Or, I got a better idea. It's coming to me, people. It's coming to me. I'm a little slow, but it gets there. It gets there. And Art is saying you need an assistant. Yes, I need an assistant. Well, I had one earlier, but you saw she kind of skedaddled. She had no faith in this project. All right. So I'll get the final laugh. I'll be like, haha. We'll see. So I'm going to clamp this like this because I don't think these dimensions matter too much. And we're going to figure out how long the thigh has to be and then how long the shin has to be. So it might not be completely accurate human anatomy wise, but it'll be accurate for our butt kicking purposes. So, and then this little guy, and we don't know where we want the knee to be. So I'm going to extend the knee for now as much as possible. The knee. All right. So now, where's the cylinder? And this, see, this is like way far because now this would already start like this. It's already like kicked in the butt. So all I have to do is like go on the other side of the room and like run backwards and boom, you know, just kind of like run into this thing. And, you know, I don't want to do any work. I've already like been sad enough. I just want to sit here and take my punishment. So the idea is, okay, how much do we need to cut this down by and still be able to fit the piston? So my idea is we have to pretend that there's another one of these here covering it. You know, nice covered. No one sees what's going on here. And I'm thinking we should drill the hole to match this guy right here because I'd like to recess him a little bit and that gives us a little bit more room. And I would say probably cut him here. But let's get the piston and make sure. Piston. All right, so this is going to go in here like that. And this is entirely too long, but I on purpose made it super, super long to start giving us an idea. And actually, I changed my mind. I'm taking it right back out again. All right, so if this guy is kind of sitting like this, and he's resting here, and when the air comes, he's going to go like that. So perhaps he doesn't have to travel all that much to get this going. And so we needed to go how high? So if I'm sitting here, this is super awkward. No, guys, bear with me, bear with me. So it's going to kick right about here. So if it needs to go right here where the black meets the gold, this is like super awkward. But we're family, right? We're all family. We've been doing these streams. We can hang out, right? All right. So if the piston is here, I think we can get away with travel of about here. What do you guys think? It's going to go like that. And then, I say I just go cutting and we figure it out. This is too much figuring out for me right here. We don't measure here, and this is already like gone past the point. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut this little cylinder right about here, and then the piston will leave long for now until we figure out what we need. But this has got to go at least right here. It's got to go. So, and I want to retract this as much as possible. So let me make a line as to where I need to cut. This is the one time we're going to measure, people. The one time. So enjoy. Enjoy. So I need to cut this at about here. Right there should be pretty safe. And that gives us enough. Whoop. Oh, I cut it. I cut it. That gives us enough seating. Because this thing's going to be right up against here. And that's going to seat right there. That's looking pretty good. So I say for now. All right, let's go back on over to the workbench here. All right. I got myself in the stomach. All right, so let's see how far we can get. Make sure the piston doesn't come out. Yeah, so for the piston not to come out, we actually do have a cap that's going to grab it, you know, so it doesn't go flying out because, you know, I'm already getting a foot to the butt. I don't need a piston to the butt too, right? That's too many things. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way there, and we're going to put our little piston here. All right, I thought that was going to fall over. So we got our guy, and let's cut this before I start yapping, and then I forget that we needed to cut this in the first place. So let's move our trusty little medieval cutting device here, and here's my line. Let me get this set up. Whoop, wrong way. There we go. David Beck is trying to help. It's like, it's getting flipped around. All right, there we go. So it's tough to tell when you're like looking here and then it's all in reverse. So then you get yourself in reverse. All right. So I think one suggestion was to cut away from yourself. So let's try that. Let's see what happens if we cut away from ourselves. All right. No, that's definitely more. Whoop, I spoke too soon. There we go. Yeah. If you go slow, then you can get it started. I was always in a rush. All right, so Ernesto is saying before plugging the piston, you can put a spring to make it return. And that's an idea because I actually hadn't really thought about any type of mechanism yet to how is this thing going to return. I mean, I was just kind of thinking about doing it manually, you know, that's kind of lame, right? But that's as far as I had gotten. So that's kind of a cool idea to explore. And Jel said, I did it wrong. You pull towards yourself, not away. See? Already. It's backwards day today, apparently. Remember that from school? It's like, it's opposite day. It's opposite day. All right. So we'll try the spring idea. And then we have Jel saying, measure twice, cut once. Well, clearly you just got here because we don't do that here. We measure not at all, hope for the best, and cheer ourselves when it works out anyways. But yes, you're right. You should probably measure twice. I think I'd end up with a lot less waste that way. So in chatting, I now forget which one of these is the one we were going to use. So let's see if we can quickly figure this one out. All right, so something like that, guys, and then something like that. I'm going to quickly measure and see if that's the one. Let's check it out. All right. So I'm not too worried yet about like how high this thing has to be, but whoa, yeah, I think that's not the right one. Let's switch it. Yeah, that's longer. All right. Much better. I'm like, where am I looking? Where are you guys? There you are. All right, so this is much better. This is the one. I'm going to put the other one aside so I don't confuse myself again. And I'll be like, guys, which one is it? All right, so it's completely out of the way. So until we figure out our 90 degree versus the other degree, I'm going to go ahead and get this one cemented in right here because that doesn't matter. We're keeping this. And I'm going to unscrew this. Someday. There we go. And I put the piston on a screw adapter because it allows me to remove the piston. Say we want to change the size or it didn't quite work out or I have to switch it for another piston because it broke. That allows me to do that. So I'm going to kind of clean the stuff here. And let's get to cementing. All right. Oh. Did I not just do it again? Right behind me. Right behind me. I'll put that there. My stuff likes to hide. All right, a little primer. And oh, look, I'm doing it again. It just likes to go over there. Oh no. There we go. everybody's getting shy. They don't want to be associated with this project. I think not even like the project parts want to be associated with this thing. They're like, It's like, why can't you build something like pretty with me? You know, like a nice pipe, faux pipe design, iron pipe, and then you can paint me like an iron pipe. No, you got to do some kind of butt kicking thing. I mean, come on, that's embarrassing. Oh, well, it could be worse. There we go. Give it a little wipe. Get all the purple off of it. All right, so at least we can change this out, but we're gonna put him in there for now. Just like that, kind of loosey-goosey. And we're keeping this end. That's the screw end. So we are keeping this end. I'm going to go ahead and cement this end together too, if I can ever get this thing off. There we go. So same deal. Little primer. And then followed into the, oh, this one goes on the outside. And get you a little cement for you and a little cement for the other one. Everybody gets cement. I'm gonna see if I can rest you here and then use my arm like this. All right. Get you nicely cemented up. Use the vise for leverage. Yes! Yes, Merlin! Good idea. All right. And Ron is also seconding a lot of the saw tips that Gel 333 Gel was giving me. So lots of good advice. Because I always sat there dancing around with that saw like it was at the club. All right, so we have that nicely in there, and then we're going to do the same. And this one has that screw adapter here at the end, so it allows me to completely remove the cylinder should something go awry. All right, so same thing. Prime. Guys, we are moving along. We hit a couple hiccups, but that's why you guys are here. You're really, oh, put it there. That's why you guys are here. We get through these hiccups together. Right, and this guy. Have you ever put the glue on the wrong side? All the time. All the time. Especially kind of like you zone out or you glue the wrong pieces together. So a lot of times I like to leave everything assembled. So that way, did I even put glue on this guy? Did I put glue on this guy? I don't know. So I'm just going to put glue on him again, just in case. I spaced out. I don't know if I put glue on him. All right, here we go. And that's going to give us this nice airtight finish. Wow, this one's like, I wasn't even able to twist it. This guy's like really, like abort mission on this project. Where's the, let me grab the negotiator. The other one went in so flush, it was like, it gives you that feeling of satisfaction, but not this one. All right, I apologize for your ears. You're all like deaf now. So, yes, purple is the primer, clear is the blue. That is true. And McGee says, we're here for you. So yes, thanks. And Robin says the hiccups are fun. Yes. They mostly are, you know, until it's like, oh no, it's irreparable. What do? I got to start over. And then I just like burn it, you know. That way there's no evidence that it ever happened. And if it's really bad, you burn all the equipment too that took footage of it. So there's no evidence. There's really no evidence of anything that went awry. All right, so we have air chamber, air gets released, makes this turn. into our piston here. But before I screw this in, we do have to chop this down. So what am I doing? I'm getting ahead of myself. So same deal. I'm going to go ahead and bring our trusty little thing here. And I don't know, guys. I'm just going to take a wild guess at this one. And, oh, I couldn't get this end off. That's right. That end is like permanently fused onto there. And it doesn't even have any glue on it. So I'm going to have to figure out how to pry that apart. Grab like a wrench and do it. Pinball says Japanese saw or flip blade 180 for easier cutting. I love Japanese saws. That's, you know, probably the next thing that I'm going to get. They're like so much easier to operate. Although my little hacksaw, you know, it's stuck with me for many years now. It's doing a good job. I'm going to move these out of the way because I just foresee them going, you know, right off the side. And, oh, this way. All right. When you work with things that are facing the opposite way, it's always interesting. Turning it all the wrong way. All right. So, here's our piston. And it's going to sit kind of in here. And if we cut like here, and we leave about this much piston out where my finger is, you know, and pretend none of this is here. This is like really tough to envision, I know. And then we'll get this much travel. I think that's pretty good. I think we'll get this much travel. Yeah. So Jella's saying if we use 245s, it could add more travel. That it could. I don't know if it's going to make a huge difference though. So that's one thing to think about. I'm just going to take this one more time. Actually, I don't want to get it out of the vise. So I'm going to see if my laziness is going to be about to be rewarded right here. It may not. So maybe we should start long. Maybe we should start a little bit longer than what I think we need and do it that way. So I'm going to keep my hand here so I remember what it is. And there we go. So pull towards you. Look at that perfection. You guys are awesome. Yeah, there we go. No more dance. No more dance party. It's like, oh, bummer. I ruined the dance party of the saw. All right, so I need to bust out the Sawzall for this. Are we through yet? Man, I'm gonna have me some Popeye arms after this. Look, you know, right now I'm working with like two wet looking noodle things, you know, but no, by the end of this, it's just gonna be busting through my shirt like the Incredible Hulk. All right, so I think we'll go with this. And my little guy is falling here. And I'm twisting this the wrong way. I am getting quite a workout. And PVN Wong is back. Awesome. David Wells says that I am getting quite the workout. Yes, I am. And David Wells also says it's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think so too. I'm actually quite impressed for myself, you know, my own self. So I got to remember to get this little coupling off somehow. I may have to wrench him or maybe like hammer down like here to be able to pry him off. But it's not really important right this second. All right, so this goes this way. So I'm going to go back over there and let's do another measure and see, you know, kind of what we come up with. All right, just moving the mic. And Jill says he is retired electrical, mechanical, and robotics engineer. So this is fun to watch. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you're not looking at this and going, oh dear, what is she building? This is frightful. All right, so I'm going to put this guy back in here and put him, kind of, you know, twist him. This might start giving us a better idea of what's going on. And also, let me grab the piston. Whoop, let's put you backwards in here. Oh, there it is. All right. So, I'll turn you back around. This almost looks like a fire extinguisher, you know, like you want to fire extinguish the room. Now, let's see here. So we got to get a kick about like that. So, can it travel back? See, that's not enough play. So here's an idea, guys. Here's an idea. Check this out. Actually, yeah, there's not enough room for him to go back. So here's an idea. What if we, obviously it can't be on the floor because I have no way of filling it, you know, so it's got to be higher up like this. And if it's higher up, we actually don't need as much travel because the angle here is smaller. So then, theoretically, this has to go way, way shorter, maybe here where my finger is. And I know you guys are probably having a tough time seeing this, but that might actually work. And it's just moving this guy up a little bit. It'll hit it here. And obviously this is way too long anyways. So what did I say? I said here. Yeah, so let's try there, right where the barcode is. Whoop. All right, so let's try that. So, oh, this is unscrews. For a second there, I was like, did I glue something that I wasn't supposed to glue together? Measure the piston at full extension. Oh, now I get over here and read that. I think it'll also help if we cut down this piston thing too, because it's just like far too long to get kind of a good read. So I'll probably do that as well. But first, I know for sure this is too long. So we'll do a final measure the way Gel is suggesting that we do, but at least let me trim the fat here a little bit and get us going that way. It'll also be a little bit easier for me to hold because yes, I do need an assistant. So let's see here. I'm gonna cut this, but this is gonna be an awkward cut. So let me move him this way. Get kind of prime time vision here, like prime time viewing. So let's do, I'm gonna go right next to this barcode here and maybe a little bit further out. There we go. We're cutting like magic now. Actually, I usually cut this the other way around so he doesn't dance so much, but I think I'm good. Famous last words. What was that? Oh, the air tank. We don't need that. All right, let me get this guy resituated because of my giant arms now. They're becoming so beefy. I pushed it down and out-strengthened the clamp. Not even the clamp is enough to hold me. I like how, yep, it's down. The vise is down. All right, so there. So let's try Gel's idea. And PV Wong saying, LOL, Rachel, you should definitely go try play the violin instead of cutting PVC pipes. Yes, indeed. I actually haven't done one of those videos in a while, one of the electric violin covers. Should probably get going on that. All right. I haven't done a cover in a while. I have to pick a song, right? All right, back on over. And let me rescue my little guy here. So if he goes here, and I'm just gonna hold this guy, screw him in, going to go back and read what Gel said. Gel323 Gel. I'm just kind of abbreviating your name. All right, so he is saying to measure the piston at full extension. All right, so this jobber, I'm going to pretend to lift him up a little bit, and he's going to be about here. And we said that that's kind of the way it's got to go to get in the behind. So at full extension, he's going to travel down here. Whoa. He's going to travel down here and hit right about here. So that's where the full extension is going to be. So I'm just going to put this, no, I can't put it down. So I'm going to try a trick. Let's see if this works. This is going to be so bad. Oh, there we go, guys. So that's going to hit right about there. So I'm holding right here. So if he goes back, yeah, so when he's all the way back, the leg is only going to be, it's not going to be straight like this. It's going to be just a little bit like this, which I think is fine. And then it'll get going. So it'll be like this. If we shorten the piston a little, we could probably get the leg to sit more at a 90-degree angle. But I think this will work pretty well. And that'll travel. Yeah, good idea, Gel. You rock. Awesome. Good ideas. I see. I figured we'd be able to figure this one out together. All right. We grab my boomstick right here and move this guy temporarily out of the way because no doubt we're going to need to do some more trimming. So guys, this is working out pretty well. And next time I need to bring a pencil to be able to mark this. But I think one of the things that we could do is already cut the hole out for this guy right here. So I'm going to mark this with a pencil. Let me think of the best way to do this when I only got 2 hands. All right. So Merlin is saying this would certainly be entertaining to watch. Boomstick! And of course, some of you that watch Army of Darkness, you know, I love Bruce Campbell movies and the new Ash versus the Evil Dead, although it's not so new, it's been, you know, canceled since then. But I love the Evil Dead series. And of course, you know, you can't go without Army of Darkness. All right, let's go back there one more time. All right, people. Shop assistant! Oh, look, no one's coming. All right, so we said that if we kind of go like right here, and let me put my hand here, and let's see, at full blast, this thing's going to be about here. And I'm kind of like inching my hands. So we're right at the P of pipe. I think that's pretty safe to say. And we're at, actually, you know, I should really do this. I should really do it like for real, because I think, there. That's going to hit that. There we go. And we're right about here at the E. So we're at the E instead. And while holding it there, I'm going to mark kind of like the somewhat diameter of this hole. All right. Someone's hitting my garage. Someone wants in. They heard about the project and they're like, oh my gosh, let me in there. Never met someone that actually wants to be kicked in the butt by a butt kicking machine, but I guess, you know, I guess they exist. All right. Oh, say groovy like him. Bruce Campbell, he says groovy. So one of the things I wanted to make is his chainsaw arm. So if any of you guys want to, you know, attempt that with me, make the Ash Evil Dead chainsaw arm, let me know, because that would definitely be on my build list. I think that would be a lot of fun. So we got our thing pretty much mapped out. And we said that it was on the E, so I'm just going to make a line to kind of remember, because I'm going to put this portion of it aside and actually drill our hole where this is going to sit. And that's going to allow us to perfect this a little bit. So I'm going to grab our contraption over here, which means I got to take our fake little butt kicker here apart, our prototype. our knee. And I suppose we could also move our knee too. And that'll help kind of fine adjust if our piston kind of doesn't come out super, super great. We can always move our knee, and of course it'll be a nicer piece of wood atop here. But that's an idea. Hide the mistakes. All right, come with me. Let's see if I can get back here. So carefully, maneuver. All right. So now we have to figure out, I drew some lines somewhere. Oh yes, here. So we're gonna try and transfer these lines over here. It'll work, we'll figure it out. All right, so let me take this guy apart so I can put him away, or just kind of put him away over here. I changed my mind. All right, hopefully he doesn't fall. Take the piston out of the way too. Put him in my bucket and try and figure out this situation. So I got a couple lines here, right here. And the idea is that I want to do like a hole right here. And let's see if I can figure out the size that I need. So I will, in fact, get this. And the idea here is that the hole is about the width or the diameter of this. So this hole saw here is pretty good. I mean, it's close enough. So I think I'm gonna go with this hole saw and drill, you know, obviously from the other side, but drill. So we have to somehow transfer these lines over and drill on the other side. So I'm just gonna put him back together again. And Art is saying, do you have a square? Yes, I do. I have a square. Oh, look, he's a full of ideas, this Art. All right, so yes, we're going to use the square. And you know I'd be stealing all your ideas. Don't even think that that's not going to happen, because it totally is going to happen. But no, I'll give you all credit, of course. Like, this is a together build. You know, that's why these turn out so awesome. Because we all put in a little bit of our idea. And this is going to give us like a ballpark. Because at the end of the day, we can move the piston up, down, and I haven't cut the piston rod length yet, and we still have a little bit to take off, I think, in the cylinder. So we got a little excess to deal with. And there we go. So the hole is going to be kind of like in this general, you know, area right there. And that's a horrible looking hole, but you know, we're gonna go with it. There we go. That's a nice looking hole, and here's where I'm going to drill in there. This is pretty terrible. All right, let me grab my drill. And here it is. All right, now sometimes this has a pilot bit, but sometimes I like to start with another bit, like a slightly smaller bit, to give this bit something to do, to grab onto. But we are going to, what's going on? There we go. Wait a minute, guys. I'm not seeing anything. This is going to be, oh, David Beck approves of my calibrated eyeball method. Yep, we're going to go for it. All right. So if I find that this starts to dance too much, then I will just, you know, grab the other bit. But here we go. All right, so the deal now is that my body is far forward, so I have no oomph. I'm gonna see if I can just move this a little bit more towards me, so I have a little more, you know, go noodle arms, go. Oh, we need more power. All right, let's give ourselves more power. There we go. This is taking forever. Oh, hold up. Let me stretch it out. Stretch it out. More power, says Edward. Yeah. All right, I give it a little more juice, but I think what's really running out of juice is my arm. So let me see if I can kind of turn this, and we're going to use the other arm now. Switch off the arm. All right, let's see if that's going to work better, and that way I can use both arms. Does this thing have any teeth in it anymore? We're getting there, people. We're getting there. You can put it on the floor. I was actually, while I was doing this, thinking, because that's usually where I work, is on the floor. This is like elevated, so I'm kind of like doing this type of thing. So I think I'm going to try and do that. And maybe you guys will be able to see it. I'm going to put you on the other cam. Let's see how gracefully I can hoist this plus drill up on over there. All right, here we go, people. Let me just move this out of the way. All right. Frank is excited to see the next project. Ernesto says, lubricate the saw. Yes. That's probably a good idea. But you're too late. It's already in there. I dare not take it out. All right, let's see if I can, oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see. Oh, that sucks. All right, so, you might be able to. I'm going to position you guys. One second. Let's see. Ooh. There we go. Took you guys for a ride, right? And we're down. All right, let's see if we can get this done now. And if I really can't, then yes, we will lubricate. Although, you know what I can do? I can probably, although if we stain, this might kind of affect it. Throw a little oil down there. But yes, let's try this first. More power! Alright, now I can't see. There we go. I think that's maximum power right there. So we'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, I'll turn it around and hit it from the other side, and then that'll probably be fine. And there we go. Come out. There we go. Nice little piece of wood. So, back on over to the other side. Ooh, nice and warm. It's actually not very hot. There we go. All right. There we go, guys. See, we did it together. I put it on maximum power, and that's what it took to get it done. Now, I will admit the quality of these, there we go. The quality of those hole saws, you know, that's probably part of the reason. I shouldn't blame the wet noodle arms for everything all the time, right? We still built some pretty cool stuff, despite that. All right, so we have our hole right there. Actually, probably easier for you guys to see. It's mostly center, you know, mostly in the center. So let's put it back there and see what we can come up with. All right, and I think we're getting to the final fitting, which is, you know, pretty exciting. There we go. And I'm going to have to adjust the camera again. So I'm going to put this over there and then, you know, adjust you guys so you guys see what's going on. Or else it's too close to the floor. All right, so this guy will go here. And I'm going to go adjust you guys. I don't know. Maybe something like that? Something like that? let me know. All right, that's a big birdhouse. I know, huge. You can put a whole family of birds in here, you know, and, you know, put their little seeds in there too. I thought the same thing after I finished cutting the hole. I'm like, this project can go a completely different direction if this butt kicking thing doesn't work out. All right, let me get the other pieces. And our other pieces. Piston. All right, so I just hit myself in the nose. All right, let's get this guy out. All right, we might have to go a tiny bit bigger, only because we got like a hex type situation going on. But let's say we were to put him in here. All right, so yeah, the hole will have to go bigger, unless people, hold up, just for measurement's sake, we'll cut the hole bigger later. That took a lot out of me. So what we can do is just put this like this, just to kind of be able to give us an idea. Slip it in from behind, or the front, yeah, the front. All right, so the idea is that this guy with the little hex bolt will be right there. And we'll get them to sit nicely. We'll put our cylinder here. So at least we finalize the height of our cylinder. So we'll kind of base everything off of this height here. All right, let me put the cylinder right there. Yes, right there. Perfect. And let me redo the rest of my situation here. And yes, you know, we might be better off kind of making this knee a little bit longer. And in fact, I'm going to do that because I think that's going to work better. And McGee is saying he's got to cut out for the night. Of course, this is a hang. You can come and go as you please. And you'll be able to catch this on replay for a bit. Kind of fill in the blanks of what you missed out. All right, so we got that. As for me, I can't cut out just yet. I gotta finish this thing. It's still close to the new year. You know, I still got many, many months of butt kicking, so I gotta get this project out of the way. All right, I'm going to adjust this to my butt again. So, pardon, this is awkward. Okay, I'm gonna step on the switch, and then this thing is, this is super awkward. It's gonna come up here. All right, so just like before, it's where the black meets the gold paint right there. And piston, that's only like right in front of my face. So we're gonna put this guy in here. And he's needing a little more oil. All right, so he's fully seated. And he'll have to hit right there. So let's see what happens when he's fully out, just like Gel said. 3-2 gel. So this is kind of when it's approximately right here when it's fully done. So when it goes in, so when it goes in, the leg will be kind of like here. Which, guys, that's almost 90 degrees. I mean, that we're getting pretty close, I think. You know? And all that's going to be is maybe then moving this a little bit further this way. Stay. So if we move our knee, because this is going to tell me how much I got to cut the knee, or the thigh. How long we're going to cut our thigh. All right, now I'm going to reposition for another butt kicking, and super awkward. All right, so that's a butt kick right there, and bet you don't catch stuff like this on other streams. And let me make sure that this piston is all the way out, or as out as I think it's going to go. So it's going to go approximately there, and let's push it back in. That O-ring should probably take it off for now. There we go. So then, wow, that's a 90-degree leg, people. That's a 90-degree leg. Where's my pencil? It's all the way over there. Hold on. I might have something here. I have a Sharpie. Actually, let me pencil it just in case. I want to measure it one more time. All right, guys. We're looking pretty good. So yeah, that's exactly how I think it's going to work out. I can chop this right here, but I would like to get the other end on it first before we do that. And that is looking pretty good. And then the final thing we're going to do is, let me take this kind of a part here for now. Get our shin, and then our thigh, and the rest of our thing here. There we go. Pull him out from the front. Hugs. Let me put this guy over here. All right. Guys, this is pretty good. So we have our hole. Let me turn him around. Ooh, helicopter. There we go. All right, so we got our hole right here where we saw how that whole thing is gonna work. Now, I thought that it would be kind of cool then to keep this side open here. That way I can go in, do whatever I gotta do, go in with the air, pump, 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 and we're gonna put a nice little cover like this. And I think that I can put a hinge on one side and then a little clasp on this side right here. So that way you unclasp it, you can open it like this, kind of like a book, do what you gotta do, pump it up full of air, and then reclose it. But before I do that, I do wanna paint this little door and make sure I sand everything down, get it as square as possible. And guys, I think we're pretty much there. We have the container for our air chamber. I think the air chamber, I'm probably gonna stick with the size that it's at. We have everything, or as much of it as we can, glue together. So the last thing to do is put Teflon tape on our screw adapter ends, and then that'll be done. So that'll be another final step. So the next thing I'm gonna work on is actually working on the thigh and the knee. And next time, it'll be butt kicking time. I think like we're gonna see this thing in action. So I am super excited. But in the meantime, chime in your ideas for what should we paint this. We got camo. We got cover it in fur. Guys, that'll be super awesome. And then I was thinking chalkboard paint. We can stain it. We can paint it heck another color. So definitely chime in the comments, because every time before I start, I always read all of your comments to get some good ideas. And then a couple more good ideas. Use at least 2 hinges. Yes, so I bought a kit. I have quite a few. That way we don't get like, any type of crookedness. And then Merlin is saying you can insert magnets to cover the back. That might not be a bad idea too, because that way you can just rip it off. You don't even have to worry about hinges. So, okay, we got two pretty good ideas there. And Dave Wall's saying it's going to kick butt. It is. Oh, yeah. I don't build things that don't kick butt, even if they're kind of limping along as they kick it, but it's going to kick some kind of butt, right? All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had a ton of fun hearing all of your ideas. And Wrench Army members, plans for this butt kicking machine, as well as our upcoming Fartitukus reveal, those are going to be up. And of course, all of our stream archives are available for Wrench Army members. And then we have some bonus projects coming up later this week and next, so those should be a lot of fun. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. We had a blast in butt-kicking good time. And yes, I can actually literally say that this time. So until next time, guys, keep kicking butt. Don't, fail on those resolutions, because listen, I got a product now that'll take care of that. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of the week.